Hello. I hope everyone is okay. Really happy to welcome you on this new track, new session dedicated to Africa. And of course, without any cliche, I know that in Africa there are a lot of innovators, innovation, low technologies, great idea, collective intelligence. We're going to speak with that. But this morning we want to shake and to wake up everybody in this room, starting with a pitch. Amira Cheniour from SEABEX, welcome in Paris. You're from Tunisia.
Yes, thank you so much.
And Nicolas Métro from Kinomé, which is a Japanese name, but you are very focused in Africa. Welcome to you. So let's start the exercise to pitch in 1 minute and answering some questions in very short term. We think it's really great for you to interact a lot. So let's start with you, Amira, if you're okay, from SEABEX. Can you pitch SEABEX?
Yes. So as we know that scarcity and misuse of resources are continuously increasing farming costs and having a negative impact on yields. SEABEX, it's a combination of a data-driven platform and proprietary IoT customer-centric solution that help farmers to fully automate operations like irrigation and fertigation, measuring the impact and continuously improving the way they are doing it. It's more than this. It's an agri-hub that will connect farmers to experts, agronomic experts. They will be able to share their algorithms and monetize them. And also it's the source for governments and NGOs to have real-time data and statistics and prepare for strategic solutions for the agriculture issues and water usage for the future. Thank you.
Wow, that's great. Less than 1 minute. Can we have some applause for big up for Amira? What a pitch. That's great. So maybe we should take some question after, because it's great to follow with you, Nicolas Métro from Kinomé. So you have 1 minute, to pitch Kinomé. What's Kinomé exactly?
Thank you, Marion. Good morning to all. Very happy to be with you. I founded Kinomé in 2005, 14 years ago. Kinomé means eye of the tree in Japanese. And our job is to leverage on our ally and bigger brother, the tree, to improve daily lives, to create good life, as we're discussing here. And that means better nutrition with moringa trees, for example. That means better access to water. That means better adaptation to climate with acacia trees, and so on and so forth, starting from the needs of people and not with preconceived solutions. In order to do that, we combine under the same roof activities which are usually working in silos: scientific research, consulting, projects, and education. And with all of that together, and a lot of partners focusing on what can make a real change to people's lives, we've managed to create good life for 2 million people in 30 countries, mostly in Africa, in the last 14 years.
That's great. Thank you, Nicolas. And we're also waiting for Venia Ariel Awansu from Key Medicals. She's coming in maybe in a few minutes and join us. She's from Benin, and she has a great project based in Benin, Africa, of course. Back to SEABEX, a very interesting project you lead now in Tunisia. Can you tell us what is in terms of, you know, for a cultural point, from a cultural point of view, what is the state of art of agriculture out there, and why did you start with SEABEX? Of course, we imagine it's to solve pain points out there, but can you just tell us more about agriculture at large in Tunisia?
As you know, that we are coming from a continent where 60% of the life of people there is relying on agriculture. Like 60% of people in Tunisia and Africa working in agriculture, so it's the main source of living. 3 years ago, in Tunisia, we have passed by a drought period, so we've lived the pain of farmers carrying off the water all the days, and we've tried to find solutions. We've said that, like, actually technology can be a solution in order to help these farmers to better use water resources because they are limited in the amount of using to irrigate. And when we say water, it's a source of life, the source of food. So we've tried to give them, for example, consultancy or advices in real time. So then we find that there is no tools to help us to get real-time data. So we've started by doing the hardware part. Yeah.
The exercises.
I forgot the 1 minute.
Sure. Of course, feel free here to ask questions to Nicolas, Amira, and next to Venia. Nicolas, one other question, maybe from the public. Do you want to ask a question to Nicolas? Okay, otherwise I'm going to ask you. Kinomé, what about reforestation? We discussed, previously, before starting the exercise. We talk about reforestation, planting old trees. That's beautiful maybe to make all the buildings collapsing, replacing by trees. That's really great. But this is not only the option. Sometimes it affects biodiversity. Can you react on that point?
Yes. Let's start from the basics. We cannot live without trees and forests, and we cannot, as a species, human beings, live without a lot of forests, number one. Number two, deforestation, the disappearance of trees continues at a large scale, despite all the initiatives and efforts. So we need to replace these trees, but we need to do it in a way that is sustainable. And the only way to make it sustainable is to plant trees that serve people's lives. Otherwise, they get eaten by goats in Tunisia, or burned by wildfires and so on. So we need to start from the people, see how we can improve their lives thanks to trees, and therefore reforestation becomes just a way to lead a better life. Now, this being said, reforestation never adds up to all the benefits of original forests. So we also have to do conservation and preservation of our forests. 80% of all species come from forests. Half of anti-cancer medicines come from forests, and so on and so forth. So we need to do both.
Great. Well, you manage in the best way. Huh? Thank you. Another question, if from you, audience, if there is one question to Nicolas or Amira, they are shy this morning.
Come on, we need you.
Amira, let's talk about Africa at large. This is exactly what we're talking about. Is this some specific? You know that everybody is saying, okay, in Africa, because there is nothing at all, basically. No technology, no computing, nothing really as mature as we can find, here in Europe. Is it a cliche, or is it something that you feel concretely? And do you have any example that can be adapted in a way?
Saying that in Africa there is no technology, it's not really true, because there is some countries, they go in like forward, like let's say Tunisia, Rwanda, Ethiopia. So these countries now are doing, like they are the example for the other African countries. Let's say the mindset is really changing. So now we found that, for example, in Tunisia 3 years ago, we found that the farmer is not really used to use technology. This is true. So this is a sector that's really far from technology. We see machinery, but we don't see technology like IoT, like artificial intelligence, which is not really which is not really true for them. So this is what we try to do in Tunisia. We do awareness sessions. We talk with them. We try to make them, give them the information in a very easy way in order to say that technology today is a solution for you. This is working together with also that, as he said, Nicolas, like collective intelligence, with people who have the knowledge of agriculture and the expertise of the agriculture.
That means when I asked the question, no technology in Africa, of course not, but not so many investment
Exactly.
to support the technology development. That's what I mean, exactly. Thanks.
Marion, sorry. Hey, we have a question from our
Yeah,
activators.
sure.
And this is for both of you. How do you choose which geographical area you're going to focus in on when there are so many different local needs across each country and the continent?
We start from the issue. As I said, at Kinomé, we bring under one roof many things together, and we do that because only a global answer can meet a global challenge. So we need research, consulting, projects, and education. And in order to make that efficient, we pick up paradigm shifts. For example, we work on cocoa a lot. The reason for that is that the average age of a cocoa farmer in Ivory Coast is 53, my age. The life expectancy is 58. Hopefully, I've got more years. All of their boys, we usually take over the farm, have gone to Abidjan. So there's no future for these people. On the other hand, most chocolate makers know who they are going to sell the chocolate in the next 20 years because Chinese, Russians, Indians eat a lot more chocolate than before. But they're not sure they're going to have chocolate because of climate change, because of deforestation. So we're bringing all these corporates, scientists, NGOs, local farmers together to reinvent a new paradigm, a new way to grow cocoa that is good for everybody. That's the way we pick up the places where we work.
Right. Let me ask another question and 1 minute answer, of course, as you now know. We just have talked about artificial intelligence, which is probably one of the, a way for Africa to be, of course, more emancipated. But you prefer talking about collective intelligence, which is super powerful and maybe more powerful than artificial intelligence. Can you explain?
I think one doesn't exclude the other. Collective intelligence gives a meaning to technology, any technology, AI, blockchain, whatever. I think the one fundamental question that we have to ask ourselves, whatever our field of intervention is, what is it about at the end of the day? Why do I plant trees? Why do I have had this platform? Why do I develop AI programs? Does it serve the needs of people? We're using a very powerful tool called ethical leadership. Ethical leadership is about innovating in meeting the fundamental needs of people. These needs, there's 7 of them, are the same everywhere you go. If AI serves security, health, respect, inclusion, balance, access to knowledge and self-realization, great. If it doesn't, let's reconsider. And that's the same with all technologies. So we need to marry, to combine hard technologies with soft technologies, hard sciences with social sciences, to make sure that happens, that we meet the people's needs in the field, in Africa in particular.
Sure, fully agree. Huh? About the data, back to SEABEX, and this is very interesting because we're close to the topic with AI. Once we extract the data, the issue for your players on the platform is not only to collect the data. Okay, I have the data. This is great. No, this is the value of the data and what should be the usage of this data. Can you explain how the platform, with all the data collected from the field, is now a new power, in Tunisia for all the people that you tackle with the platform?
Yes, of course. So let's start by the actors, actor by actor. So or people whom we are serving by the platform. So first, the farmer. So for the farmer now, we are, for example, helping them to increase the yield by 30%. We are helping them to reduce water resources and bills of electricity by 20%, and more focusing on business than operations. For the experts and agronomics, they have algorithms, but they haven't the possibility to train them or to offer them to farmers in a very scale entrepreneurial approach. So we offer them the platform to monetize and to train their algorithms according to the impact, measuring the impact in real time, the how much the farmer has irrigate, the need of the plant in terms of water and fertilizers, and also we are helping the governments to map the production across the continent depending on the exportation and the import of our needs or our plantation.
That's great. Any question from you? Come on, don't be shy. So, if I just understand, did you hear correctly? What about the future?
How do we work in 10 years? Correct? We work together. We work together. What's really missing in this world is more collaboration. And that's one of the things that trees can teach us, because trees, and like me and you, haven't had to walk from a lot, have not been able to walk to come here or to get fed. They need to develop collaborations. They need to develop chemistry facilities to develop as they stand. We need to do the same. Just give you an example. 15 other social entrepreneurs and myself, all Ashoka Fellows, we've created the first sub-regional cooperative working on nutrition in Africa. We're coming from 8 different countries, ranging from Nigeria to Senegal, through Mali, Cameroon, and so on. We all come from different perspectives on nutrition. By sharing, just getting together, Lawrence producing plantain chips in Nigeria got the inspiration from me that he should put moringa leaves in his plantain chips to increase the nutritional benefits. And that also interests Desiree, who's selling honey in Burkina, because moringa flowers feed his bees. And Lawrence, in turn, is using his distribution system to sell his products in another country. That's what we need to do. Break down silos, have corporates working with NGOs, with scientific institutes, with individuals, with everybody else. We have the solutions. We just need to share them. And that's the paradigm shift. That's what we need. Core business is good, but it's not the solution of the future. Combining core businesses to a global change of uniting forces. And we've got all the means. We've got the internet. We've got globalization. That's the good side of globalization. Let's share much more, and we'll solve the bigger problems together. That's actually the only way to do it, I believe.
I must say that the question is for you, I guess, also.
Yes, I do agree with Nicolas. Actually, according to our experience in Tunisia with the precision agriculture, we say that technology alone is not enough. So we do believe in the collective intelligence. We do believe in the collaboration between all the actors. Now in Tunisia, for example, last week we've been able to conclude on a partnership, like a unique in its gender, like it's a premiere in Tunisia, between technology and stakeholders in the agriculture sector, between the governments, the ministry, the NGOs, the technical centers, etc. So combine the technology with the knowledge would be the force to be able to solve issues in many other sectors. So I think this example, if we duplicate it to other sectors, we will be able to solve our problems efficiently and very quickly.
And maybe to answer you on this question, maybe we should say in 10 years and see maybe on newspaper, it's time to copy Africa. That's probably what we could expect. Thank you so much. Sorry for our third speaker, Venia, from Key Medicals. Of course, Venia, if you come, you are so... Please, so welcome on this stage, Christine.
Thank you, Marion. Yes, and in fact, you can catch up with Marion and all of our speakers during the hubs, during the lunch break. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.